All right, Nick, let's talk about the Michigan Wolverines big bowl game coming up for the Wolverines, but a new player on campus really turning some heads. That's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I alluded to, Michigan Wolverines Bryce Underwood already at school, already practicing with the players, looking really good, and he's turning heads already his first few days on campus. Let's get into the article and we can talk more about it on the other side. This is from over on SI.com. It says, so far it's all rave reviews for incoming freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood, now officially practicing with the Wolverines as an early enrollee. He may be a freshman, but he's already built like a seasoned college QB. Standing at 6'5", weighing 215 pounds, pretty big player if you ask me for a freshman. During the player availability on Thursday, Angelique Chenglis of the Detroit News asked returning Michigan edge rusher TJ Guy about his first impressions of Michigan's future QB1. He said, he's all of 6'5", Guy said. That's one thing I noticed right away. He's tall, big kid, saw him throw the ball a little bit, and it looks good coming out of his hand. So, TJ Guy, already first impressions, looking really good. Says he looks like he can sling the football. Very welcome news for the Michigan Wolverines. Nick, I'm curious what your thoughts are on all of this great news for the Wolverines and Underwood. But before we get to you, as I alluded to, Michigan fans, in the comment section below, big bowl game coming up against Alabama Crimson Tide. Curious what your thoughts are. Can you take it to the Tide? Can you knock them down a notch? This is a team that did lose to Vanderbilt, so looking like you possibly have a pretty good chance. Let us know what you think the final score, Michigan, Alabama, will be in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what do you think about Underwood's already great early showing?
So usually I don't take too much stock into this because I'm like, look, he's been there a few days, a few practices. How much does it really matter? But in Underwood's case, it does matter. He comes in with massive fanfare. He's a five-star, the clear QB1 heading into 2025. Obviously, the rumored millions of dollars he got. It's incredibly important for him to get the locker room behind him, to get the coaching staff, the program, everything behind him early on to get off to such a strong start. He's coming in to essentially be the face of the franchise, so to speak, for Michigan for basically at least the next 3 seasons, maybe 4, depending on if and when he goes to the National Football League. Getting off to a strong start, getting buy-in from his teammates is incredibly important. Everyone knows he's coming in there with the keys to the kingdom. He is the chosen one, so to speak, right? If he would have come in there and if he had been a little disappointing, a little lackadaisical, maybe arm doesn't look good, maybe he looks smaller than people thought, there would have been some rumblings. Been like, that's the guy we gave millions of dollars to. That's the five-star. That's the guy that's supposed to open up our passing game. And the moment that creeps in, things go south really quickly, right? But getting off to a strong start helps mitigate that. Coming in with an attitude, a good attitude, I should say, working hard, doing some good things in practice, showing off his physical gifts, not being too cocky and arrogant, but acting like he belongs. All those things are really important. And Underwood is checking every single box up to this point, and getting off to a strong start is so important. We see a lot of times in the National Football League, the rookie quarterbacks, when they go to their teams, usually the teams that have those quarterbacks that have good rookie seasons, they start off with their teams in rookie minicamp. They're doing leadership things. They look good. They're doing things well. They're far from perfect, but they're off to strong starts. The rookie quarterbacks that struggle are usually the ones that have a rough mini camp. Those are the guys you hear reports that threw 3, 4, 5 interceptions in mini camp or training camp and things like that. The guys that get off to strong starts, it doesn't mean their entire career is going to go perfect, but if you get off to a strong start, it usually means that'll carry over at least to your first season. And it's critically important for Michigan's recruiting strategy, just the development of this program post Harbaugh, to get off to the strong start in 2025 with a better passing offense led by Underwood. And this news, again, just first step. It's early, completely understand that, but it is 100% a good indication, which is exactly what this Wolverines program needs.
Yeah, Nick, and I think it's probably great for Michigan fans, at least for the first time. I think maybe once in the last 5 years, they've come in to a season where they didn't have a question at the quarterback position. Obviously, we know JJ McCarthy became the guy, but before he was the guy, there was always a question: Cade McNamara, JJ McCarthy, who's going to be the guy? What's going to happen here? Obviously, this season with Orgy, there was always in Warren, there's the question: who's going to be the guy at quarterback? Who's going to be the guy at quarterback? It's got to feel a little bit refreshing that you say, we've got a guy at quarterback. He shows up on campus. everyone's saying, we've got a guy at quarterback. We've got a guy that's performing. He looks really good so far. He looks the part. He throws the ball the part. He's being a leader the part. He's mature beyond his years. He looks like a grown man on the field. That has to be very, reassuring for Michigan that they made the right decision in bringing a guy like Underwood. And I also like the fact that he gets things done. He's able to get there early and already putting in the work. This just screams really great news to me for the Michigan Wolverines. Like you said, it is early. There's really only so much you can glean from this information. But with everything we saw in the past, everything we see in the present, and what we know from past precedent, like you said, this seems like about as good as it can be for Michigan, knowing that they went after and got the right guy in Bryce Underwood. I'd be very excited. Temper your expectations. We got to see what he's able to do throughout all of minicamp. Like you said, everything, you need to have a strong showing there. But early signs show Bryce Underwood is the real deal, and Michigan fans should start to get a little bit excited.